Welcome to Cooking with Class, the child nutrition program of the Mobile County Public School System cooking show. My name is Suzanne Yates, your host and food service director for the child nutrition program. Today I'd like to welcome Anita Bird, the child nutrition program manager from Sims Middle School. Welcome, Anita. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
Well, good, good. Today we're going to be talking about foods with special diets, and that's one of the things that we have a lot of with the Mobile County Public School System, and each year it seems like it grows and grows and grows. Anita, tell us a little bit about what types of things that we need to do to have foods prepared for the students at the schools.
We just need to make sure that if they have a diet prescription, if they're allergic to anything, if they're diabetic, that we make sure that we have foods that they can eat when they come in, ready for service.
Well, one of the things I know as the registered dietitian for the schools, we have to have this form filled out, which we'll be showing that a little bit later on as to how the forms. We need to have it filled out by the physician, and that way we can get the foods that they need. And while you're my special guest, I know you're a little sweet that you've been diabetic for a few years and that you do a lot of carbohydrate counting, and I thought I'd just show, just as part of the educational thing, of what types of things we have in our schools that have carbohydrates, what things that have carbohydrates, and tell them a little bit about how we can help them if they're diabetic in their carbohydrate counting. Just show us some of the different foods and tell us how you do with carbohydrate counting.
You learn after a while about a ballpark of how many carbs is in each item. 15 is a good number. A lot of the juices have 15 to 18. Your breads, 12 to 15 slices.
Okay.
And what I do, I have on an insulin pump, for every 7 grams of carbs, I have to take a unit of insulin.
Okay, and that's automatically pumped into you. You have it all set up and that type of thing. And I know we do have a lot of children in the county that are on insulin pumps. That seems to be the way to get the children under better control. We do have some children that are on shots and things like that, but it's just to be aware of what has carbohydrates, such as our fruits. We have rice that we prepare for our students, our starchy vegetables, our dried peas and beans. These are some beans that we have in the can. Also, milk has carbohydrates. And one of the things is, as we said, a diabetic person can have anything they want. And just like with the milk, with white milk or chocolate milk, the difference in these two is that they're both fat-free, but this has sugar in it, so it has more carbohydrates than what the plain or unflavored milk would have. So that's just one of the things that we have to be careful about in counting carbohydrates. Know what's in your food. And what are some of the things that we have for our students to help them with carbohydrate counting, or that we can give our parents and things like that?
We have in the handbook that we received from you, we have the carbohydrates listed in most all of our foods.
Yeah, that's true.
I've worked with a couple of parents now, especially at an elementary school one time, where I give her this list and the copy of the menu so that she could work with her daughter as to how many carbs that she needed to take right before she eats lunch.
Right. One of the things too is that on our website we do have our menu, and we'll have all the carbohydrates for each food item that has carbohydrates in it listed. We do have, as we said, this reference chart that's basically all of the foods that we have in our kitchens. It's not every food that's produced at grocery stores, but it's what is in our kitchen, the specific products that we have, that we do have the carbohydrate counts. Some of the other things that, besides carbohydrate counting, is what are the other type of diets that you've come across just in this school? What type of special diets do you have?
Oh, allergies, wheat allergies, milk allergies.
So it's all the different type of allergies. And that's one thing. For all of our parents, that is a thing that we will cater to the students as much as possible. Now, there are some instances that we are not able to actually prepare the foods because of the types of allergies that these children may have. One of the things is that I can recall is with gluten. That's sort of the new thing. It's a protein that's found in flours like barley, rye, oats, and wheats. And a child just cannot, I guess, like handle it. It's not digested. And so they have to avoid foods that have gluten in it. And it just depends on the severity of the sensitivity of the child. Some of them we can just provide gluten-free foods. Other times we may have to actually ask the parent to send the food if there's a problem with cross-contamination. One of the things is with allergies, as you said, it's a big problem. How about peanut allergies? That's a big one, I think, nowadays.
It has, and I think that's the reason why most of the schools are going to peanut-free.
Yes, most of our schools are becoming peanut-free, and it is a big deal with peanuts, peanut butter, that type of thing. And so we don't even have peanut butter or anything like that on our menus anymore. So it really is a different kind of thing having allergies. I know we need to ask the parents that just bear with us, and we will try to provide the things that we need for the students and that kind of thing. It's just amazing with allergies how many different kinds. I know I have about 300 or 400 special diets that I know about, but there are some that are not brought into our attention. Besides special diets, another thing, I'm not sure if it's in your school, if we have any type of religious preferences.
I have not.
You have not? Okay. In some of our schools, we do have religious preferences of, say, like no pork or to have no gelatin, that type of thing. As a organization with the child nutrition program, since we are federally funded, we do not have to honor those requests, but we do try to honor them as much as possible just to help out our students and that type of thing. One of the things is we do require to have a special diet prescription for all of our students, and it just makes it easier so that we can provide the types of things that we need for all of our people. Well, Anita, I want to thank you for being with us today, and I appreciate all the input that you had with carbohydrate counting, and I guess we'll keep on cooking with class.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Chef Johnson with the Murphy Culinary Arts Department. Today we're going to talk to you just briefly about the proper use of cutting boards in the commercial food setting or in your home setting. Alex has an illustration here of the commercial. This is a new trend in the industry. John, would you explain to them briefly about those cutting boards and what the different colors mean?
Yes, ma'am. They have different colored coating of the boards. There are 6 of them. You have the red for your meats. You have tan for your fish, yellow is for poultry, green is for vegetables, blue is for cooked foods, and white is for your dairy.
Now, one important thing about that is that we're trying to prevent cross-contamination, and in the industry now, as a ServSafe certified credentialed young students here, they practice this skill daily. We don't want to get any cross-contamination, something that can make somebody ill. Alex, would you explain to them about the home kitchen that you can also acquire these types of color-coded things as well?
You can also find these type of cutting boards color-coded at your local kitchenware store or
other vendors as well.
And other vendors as well.
Yeah, some of the big box stores might also have them as well. They're color-coded. John, would you explain to them just briefly about extra protection you might use as far as knife shields?
Yes, ma'am. In the commercial kitchen, we usually use knife gloves. They're Kevlar. You usually wear it on the hand that you're not holding the knife with. And just to protect the gloves, as long as with your hand, we wear gloves to cover them.
And we do this so that we protect the glove as well. These are rather expensive. We have a lot of students that come through, and we use these multiple times during the day. John will briefly illustrate how safe that glove actually is. John, just very gently show us how that glove works on that Kevlar glove.
Okay, Kevlar is a strong fabric when woven together. It can protect you against slices, and you can't cut your hand, but it does not protect against punctures.
Excellent, John. You did a beautiful job illustrating that. Thank you so much for joining us for another Kitchen Moments with Murphy's Culinary Students.
Hi, and welcome back to the lunchbox section of Cooking with Class. We're here at Greer's Market looking at labels and seeing exactly what is on the box or the package that you're purchasing. One of the things at our schools is that we do have many children that are on special diets, such as different allergies, whether it's to peanuts, wheat, soy, that type of thing. And we have to cater to these students that we're required by the federal government to provide the foods as much as possible that we can to take care of their nutritional needs. And just some of the things, whether you're on a carbohydrate counting diet, that you may be diabetic or anything like that, labels can tell you a whole story about the product. Just for instance, say like this product is moon pies, double-decker moon pies. Not especially something that we would actually serve in the schools, but it's just some information. If you would want to send your child to school with this in their lunchbox, some of the most important information that we have is right here, is what's in the ingredients. Like on this, it has allergy information that is telling you that it's been processed with tree nuts that are in the manufacturers. Not necessarily that there are nuts in this product, but it's been processed in a manufacturer that has the nuts and stuff in that building, or the equipment has touched nuts. And so that's something that you need to be aware of, because each day at school I do get diet prescriptions from physicians that ask about, give us things that we need to avoid, foods that have been processed with on equipment. Some other things that you might want to look at are just like how many carbohydrates are in different things. Like with the potato chips, on a label, it will always tell you what is a serving size, whether it's 10 chips or if it's a cup of something or whatever, that type of thing. Everything on that label is telling you about that serving. One good example I could tell you, not necessarily these chips, are like the ramen noodles that we get quite often. They're easy to fix, they taste good. One of the things with them is that people generally eat the whole package. One of the things with that package is there's actually 2 servings in that package. So everything that you're looking on the label, you have to either double if you're eating the whole package. Just like this with the chips, it says there's 5 servings in the bag. So for you have to take 1/5 of this bag. And so whenever you have like little individual bags of chips, you don't get a whole lot of chips in there, because there are a lot of calories in that chip, or there might be carbohydrates, that type of thing. Some of the other things that'll tell you on the labels is it'll tell you how much fat, how much carbohydrate, how much sodium, how much protein. It'll also tell you if there's any significant amount of vitamins or minerals that are in that product. So it's really important that you do look at labels. Just comparing, whenever you look at juice at school, we provide 100% fruit juice that does not have any added sugar to the juice. We generally encourage that at home also. We're also limited on the amount of juice that we give, because juice for ounce has a lot of calories, and it's easy to drink an 8-ounce cup of juice, whereas generally we recommend that it's about a 4-ounce portion of juice that you have. One of the things that people do mix up with juice is they may get like these little fruit squeezies, that type of thing. Basically, this is sugar water that it does have calories. It also has a nutrition label, just like all the other products that I have here in my basket. Another thing we have is peanuts. They're very good food, and it's something that we generally tend to want to have, like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and things like that. And if you're putting that in your lunchbox in the lunchbox for your child, just be careful to see if your child's school has any type of peanut allergies or anything like that. There's a lot of different foods that are out there, but believe me, every label can tell a story about that food in particular. I do want to thank y'all for joining us with this segment, and I want to thank Greer's, and also be sure to save your receipts for Apples for Students. Thank you for joining us on Cooking with Class. I'd like to thank my special guest, Anita Bird of Sims Middle, for sharing her information about carbohydrate countings and special diets and all that type of things that we do for our students, in addition to preparing the regular meals. I'd like to also ask the parents that if you would like to join your children for breakfast or lunch, you are more than welcome to do so. And again, just remember, we don't just serve food, we serve education.